Welcome to Consensual Conversations. This is Sarah Lise. 2020. Oh my God, we're here. We made it. We made it without an EMP pulse, people. Okay? Just saying. So on January 12th, 2020, there was a Saturn-Pluto conjunction that took place. And in the dream time, in Aboriginal lore, there's a legend that during the time of the original creation, a ceremony was interrupted and they didn't complete the umbilical cord connecting with the sun or the galactic sun, or basically connecting to the universe. So this is Aboriginal lore. It's a myth, quote unquote, right? So basically, 2020, January 12th, the Saturn-Pluto conjunction is the moment in time where an opportunity lied for this reconnection of the umbilical cord of Earth, of Gaia, to the sun, to the galactic sun, and to the cosmic central sun to happen. So, a few days prior to the event, I don't know exactly what day it was. I think it was actually Sunday the 5th. I was at a healing clinic, like a Reiki healing clinic type of thing. And we went in and tuned in and looked at what was going on and discovered that on the grid, so there's what I discovered is called the sacred womb grid. And it's very similar, not exactly the same, to the umbilical cord of Gaia. So it's this wave, they're like the rainbow serpent and I believe it's the lunar serpent. Oh my goodness, I can't remember. But one's masculine and one is feminine. So in this Aboriginal lore, legend, these two serpents sort of interact like an infinity spiral. And they go around the center of the earth, and above and below the equator. But actually, it goes across and up and down. So it goes up through Glastonbury and down into Bali, through Australia, and comes up through the United States. So we had an opportunity to assist with the reconnection of the umbilical cord. So Uluru, Ayers Rock, in the center of Australia, is considered a sacred location, a sacred rock, but it's also considered the 13th Stargate of the planetary Stargate. So this was the location where they call the solar plexus, or the umbilical cord, resides. And so last year, in preparation for this event, the Aboriginals closed the Uluru, closed the rock to the public so that it could rest and prepare for what was next. And on January 12th, and the full moon was on the 10th, January 10th, in, I believe it was Cancer, and it was an eclipse. So the energies and the portals were basically wide open, and this Saturn-Pluto conjunction was happening. Now when Saturn usually goes into Capricorn, which is what it did, Saturn came into Capricorn where Pluto has been. Pluto is then going to go into Aquarius, right? And I'm not even an astrologer. This is just from energy, right? This is just from observing energy that I'm figuring all these things out and then finding out about them, and then people talking about it now more, because astrology has become very prominent in the Lightworker Society that we have, the Starseed Society, because energies are affecting us and we are sensitive to these energies, and what's happening on the planet is unprecedented and has never happened before. But usually when Saturn goes into Capricorn, there's wars and there's like big movements. So while this was happening, just prior, in the first 2 weeks of January, Australia was on fire, and like the entire country was on fire in the last month. And never before has it been to that degree. I mean, many people lost their homes, farmers lost their crops, animals were burned. It was Armageddon. I mean, it's been really bad, and they're just now finally getting rain. And today is what, the 16th or the 17th? So, yeah, today's the 16th. So, just to say that so much is happening, and at the same time, our president, the POTUS, President Trump, is being impeached, or they're attempting to impeach him on articles of impeachment, and he bombed or missiled on Iran and killed one of the main generals of Iran. And so, could be causing a potential war between Iran and the United States, but also potentially a world war, World War III. So all of this is happening right now, just prior to this Uluru activation. Now, here's the thing. The powers that were, I'm going to call them, they've known about all these alignments. They live their lives according to these alignments and according to magic. They know what's happening. They have all the inside information. It's the general public that is kind of not aware of what's going on. So here we are trying to function in reality, and we have no information to speak of, and we're having to scramble to figure everything out. And then there's some of us that are working overtime to figure out these different energy alignments and being guided to different places on the planet to do activations and repair. So I was guided to be in a very specific place that is directly connected to the Uluru umbilical cord up here in the Pacific Northwest. And then a snowstorm hits. So of course I can't get up there. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to do a call. So I did an impromptu call. I had 11 people, and 2 people from Italy, 2 from England, people all over. And we went to work and started to assist, because a few days prior, around the 10th, which was the full moon, an Aboriginal elder contacted me on the inner planes, meaning telepathically, and said, I need you to gather a group, and I need you to do the work. I need your assistance. We need your assistance here. Please help. And I heard it loud and clear. So then I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I'll go up to where I was going to go, to this mountain, and do my thing privately, right? No. The Aboriginals were like, no, you need to gather a group. I was like, okay, all right. So it got to the point where I was literally like taking a shower and rushing on the 12th and like, oh my God, I have to do this. And it was like last minute, and I just had to show up and make it happen. And 11 people showed up. It was profound, right? So 7 hours later, 7 hours, we had done this activation. The first 4 hours were ceremony, and then with intermittent talking and sharing and just being in space together and circle together and sacred circle together. But then I spoke with these Italian women for the 3 hours after that, but the four solid hours, almost 5 actually, where people were coming into the call and participating. We even had children from across the world in different locations showing up and participating. So what we did, and I feel to speak to this, is we assisted with the connections between the central core, crystalline core of the earth and the sun, and helping the energy to move through the umbilical cord, to move through the planet, and to make the energy flow better. Because like Glastonbury, which has all the ley lines go into this hill, all over the earth. Glastonbury has this hill called the Tor, and they consider that the heart chakra of the planet, and it was on fire. I mean, it was literally screaming, and so it took my attention there immediately, and I went in and tried to soothe that energy and bring down rose gold ray and do all this work to sort of soften that frequency and to let that energy then flow through the grid. So this involves ley lines, energy lines, the living crystal network of the earth, of the planet. So this is how the energy moves through the planet, is through these ley lines. And they're basically energy lines that run across the planet. And so the energy then gathered in Uluru and was able to reconnect with the sun and the great central sun, and through our galactic sun. So we are now connected. It is done. And I got confirmation back. I had a friend who was on the call with me send me an email from a woman in Australia who does shamanic work and does soul retrieval. And she had not participated in any of this. And she wrote a blog post because she went inside Ayers Rock and was working with the Aboriginals and the little people there, and they showed her a totally different reality, and they showed her that it is done and everything is reconnected and everything had reconfigured itself on that day. So thank you to anyone who participated in that reconnection. This is what I would consider the event that everyone has spoken of for many, many years. There could be more, we don't know, but for right now, I mean, this was one of the biggest events that we knew about. And the event is probably a prolonged event, like over a period of time. But basically, it's reconnecting, and my intuition, it's reconnecting the sphere of Amenti, which was taken offline way, way back also. During this time of there was many cataclysms during fifth dimensional Earth. And so that now I feel the Ark of the Covenant, the blue sphere of Amenti is now back embodied within the earth because she was able to connect her umbilical cord. So that has been replaced within the energetic grid of the earth, the magnetic light grid of the earth. And it's a bright blue, it's beautiful blue color. And what this does is this brings back the health and the vitality of, all the humans and all the beings here on this planet, which we, didn't have during this time of being disconnected from it, right? So thank you to all the beautiful star seeds and light workers and all the people that were assisting in this process for the last however many years that you've been alive, because all of our souls came here to participate. All of our souls came here to do this work. And I feel compelled to speak to it now. I'm at the point where I've been asked several times, and I feel that this is the year that I know this is the year that my Priestess Magi mentorship program is in full swing. So the Jewels of the Jedi Priestess Magi Mentorship Program begins in March on the spring equinox. I am accepting deposits now for that. Early bird prices are in flux or in flow right at this moment. And if you want more information, feel free to contact me through Facebook, Facebook Messenger, or through Instagram at Reverend Dr. Sarah Lee. So it's RevDrSaralise, and or Power Priestess, Priestess at gmail.com. So those are the 3 ways that you can get a hold of me. And if you just send me a friend request on Facebook, I probably won't know that this is in regards to that. So it's best to send me a message. And I am, again, taking deposits for that, and I am doing interviews for that because it's an interview process is necessary for this particular mentorship program. So it's 13 moons, but it's actually almost 14. So it runs from March 20th, which is spring equinox, through May 1st of 2021. That's the technical time, that window that has been gifted to me to do this work. And we will be traveling. There's some initiation portals that we will be doing in Glastonbury, in the Mayan temples and in the Egyptian temples. So we will be going to 3 major locations on the planet where there are high levels of energy and initiatory temples where activations will take place. We're also going to be doing a weekend retreat in Michigan and a ceremony here in Portland, Oregon. So that will be during that year. And then there'll be one other initiatory weekend as well. So there's lots going on for that mentorship program, and it's deeply involved. It's soul changing, not just life changing, but it's literally your soul coming back online fully and completely into full embodiment and full power and on your mission. So if you know anything about me at all, you know that I am totally serious about what I do, and I don't take anything lightly, but I'm also very silly and fun, and this work is really, really deep. So it's not for the faint of heart. And I would really love for you to join me if you feel called to find out about it. If you're curious, please contact me. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. I feel the presence of those souls that are going to receive this message. And until we meet again, until another podcast, blessings on your journey. Hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful day.